Hey guys, welcome back. So can you guess this very common idiomatic expression? This expression is comprised of two parts. The first part is an adjective and the second part is a noun. The first part begins with the letter L and the second part begins with the letter V. So it's a situation where one side wins against another side by a significant margin and a significant lead. Can you guess the expression? The expression is landslide victory. The soccer team I play for beat the other team by 10 points. It was a landslide victory.
Vigorous propaganda gave Ohio Republicans the greatest majority, landslide victory.
To engineer a court packing plan of his own. He had just won a landslide victory.
Let's learn the second idiomatic expression. Two parts. The first part is an adjective. The second part is a noun. The first part begins with the letter R. The second part begins with the letter A. It's a situation where something terrible and unpleasant happens, and it's unexpected, and it causes someone to learn a difficult truth. So what's the expression? The expression is rude awakening. It can be a rude awakening to realize that getting a degree at a college or university doesn't necessarily lead to a good job.
I had a pretty rude awakening when I realized that I was not going to make it as a dancer.
I think it was a really kind of rude awakening for all of us that the mountain wasn't going to be this sanctuary, this.
And I experienced a rude awakening. I became suddenly aware of my skin color. And
the next expression I'm going to teach you has two parts. The first part begins with the letter S, and the second part begins with the letter S as well. It's a situation where a small action can lead to bigger negative consequences that are often hard to stop. So, what's the expression? The expression is slippery slope. Some people think that smoking marijuana is a slippery slope and something that leads to harder drug use.
Because it's a pretty slippery slope from world class into irrelevance.
That could lead down a slippery slope to the United States eventually designating the Pakistani government.
The old-fashioned slippery slope. You know, somebody does it a little bit and they do it a little more. That's exactly what happened at Milan.
The next expression begins with the letter U, and then the second part begins with the letter B. It's a situation that requires a lot of hard work and perseverance in order to overcome an obstacle. So what's the expression? The expression is uphill battle. It's an uphill battle to become a professor at a university. You have to jump through a lot of hoops.
Because it's always an uphill battle to defend yourself on your opponent's terrain.
I am fighting a terrible uphill battle that I may in a few months decide to just quit.
The next expression begins with the letter L and the second part begins with the letter S. It's something that has a very low probability of happening or chance of success. It's often viewed as something unlikely or improbable. What's the expression? The expression is long shot. Getting a good job with a great salary and lots of benefits in a competitive market is a long shot.
Deciding whether or not I want to come here, I'm coming here if they invite me. That's a long shot to see if she gets invited, but we'll see.
But I think for most of them, this is probably a long shot.
The next expression begins with the letter L, and then the second part begins with the letter C. It's a situation or an endeavor that is considered hopeless or futile. It's unlikely to succeed, and efforts to change it are seen as pointless. What's the expression? The expression is lost cause. We can also use this expression to refer to a person.
So Facebook, it's sort of a lost cause for me. I mean, journalists are working as unpaid content moderators.
The American administration is not going to put more effort into a lost cause.
It's become so common for momentarily to mean in a moment that it's just a lost cause. We're never going to win that battle. So
the next expression begins with the letter L, and the second part begins with the letter C. We use it to refer to someone who is impulsive and someone who's unpredictable and even someone who can be dangerous due to their behavior. We can say that that person is a loose cannon. Now, just to let you guys know, this expression is kind of rude. We don't use it often, but you might hear native English speakers use the expression to refer to this type of person. Tom was considered a loose cannon because he constantly interrupted work meetings and yelled at coworkers if they did something he didn't like.
She calls him a loose cannon. He calls her disrespectful.
I think that he scared a lot of people because he was a little bit of a loose cannon.
This next expression is a positive one. The first part begins with the letter S, and the second part begins with the letter S as well. We use it to describe someone who is honest, someone who is forthright, and someone who is direct in their communication. They don't have hidden agendas and they don't like to deceive others. We can call that person a straight shooter. I pride myself on being a straight shooter. If I don't like something, I'll tell you, and if I love something, I'll also tell you.
With Comey and had high expectations for him because he had this reputation of being a straight shooter.
He just needs somebody to like tell us how it is. Straight shooter, no BS.
The next expression begins with an adjective that begins with the letter H, and then the second part is a noun that begins with the letter M. So we use this expression to refer to when people make a compromise or they reach a middle ground that satisfies both sides. So what's this expression? This expression is happy medium. Some colleagues wanted to work exclusively from home, and some colleagues wanted to work on campus. The team found a happy medium by introducing a hybrid schedule.
No, my question, Mariana, is where do you say it's okay? Where's the happy medium here?
I don't know if there is a happy medium, to tell you the truth.
Pushback. What did you sort of where was that happy medium that you had to reach to get this approved?
So the last expression begins with the letter S, and then the second part begins with the letter L. It is a positive aspect or an advantage that can be found in a challenging or negative situation. So what's the expression? The expression is silver lining. Despite losing his job, the silver lining was that it allowed him to pursue his passions and start a career that he always dreamed about.
The silver lining to it was I couldn't eat before giving a speech, so I would always lose 5 or 10 pounds before every speech.
And so there is a silver lining, and I see constitutional conservatives on the right, and I see people on the left who are learning these lessons again.
Who are always looking for the cloud in every silver lining. The fact is, our economy is growing again.
I promise you, even if it's hard to see right now, there is a silver lining. And if you hold on to that with an attitude of gratitude, you will soar upward and onward.
Okay, guys, that's it. So, how many expressions could you guess? Let me know in the comments below how many expressions you knew about before watching this video. As always, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure you turn on alerts so you can get notifications about my new content. I'll see you guys next time.